Good morning, everybody. It's me. Welcome back. Today we're going to go with another one of those historical Minecraft vibes, what we've been doing lately, except this time, the version that we're going back to isn't very far at all. We're going to go back to now. You see, I haven't slept in weeks. Maybe you haven't either. We've been too busy working, pushing for Amplified to be saved. The job has been done. Amplified is going to be in 1.18 and it's better than ever. It's great. But through all of our hard work and determination, we've forgotten two other friends, and those other friends are most likely too late to be saved. World-type caves, world-type floating islands. They will be leaving the game forever in Minecraft 1.18. So like a couple of days now. Today is the day for mourning. Today is the day for remembering. One final look at these two world types. Leave a like to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the video. Caves come first. So, caves. Right off the bat, it's dark. I know. And world spawn. This is world spawn in this world. Pretty much, I think it's basically the best world spawn you could ever ask for. You have 2 blocks instead of just 1. Pretty crazy, and then you can see a couple more right there. And then it's dark, so to be honest, maybe you can't see anything. The cave world type and the floating island world type are both Java Edition exclusives right now, until they're gone. When you make a cave world for the first time, you pick a biome for the world. I didn't pick a biome, which means I end up with plains biome. It's a gigantic plains biome, and you know what? You probably can't see anything. Let me fix that. There we go, so much better. You can actually see. So cave world type, first big problem with the thing, you can't see at all. In a normal survival setting, yeah, it's going to be like basically impossible. Now flying around, starting to move around and look at this world, definitely, basically the nether, except this time we have the overworld block, so we have stone up there, grass right there. The shaping of all of this area, 100%, it's just the nether. Now flying around through here, looking at this thing, it is really cool. However, maybe you're noticing another thing that would be a huge problem for survival Minecraft, and that's going to be this thing right here. The creeper, all of the other hostile mobs. Because it's all a gigantic cave, and let me remind you about this. Gigantic cave is this. It's going to be dark. Constantly, like non-stop inside of this world, so you're going to have to light it up somehow. Maybe like torches or something like that. Except big problem. Because this is all a cave, like the entire world. You're not really going to be able to find trees. So, yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. Trees generated on the surface, and the surface in this world kind of looks like that. A question you have. Yes. So realistically, how would you be able to do anything inside of this world other than spawn in some kind of tiny room, stand there and look around for a little bit, eventually get out of that room somehow, run around, be swarmed by mobs, and also not be able to see anything the whole time? Well, that's a really good question. You see, mineshafts. Mineshafts inside of this world type are basically the best thing in the entire world, because if you're looking for wood, depending on the biome you set, this is basically your only option here. All of the structures that normally generate under the ground, so like a mineshaft, a geode, things like that, definitely 100% they're here. When it comes to the lack of wood that exists or doesn't exist inside of this world, the mineshaft is basically pure profit. You find one of these things, you're loaded, living a life of luxury, or as luxurious as it can get inside of a world that is entirely a cave. Completely. And one biome, everywhere. I feel like I got off on the wrong foot with the cave world though. Like, they're not all that bad. They are kind of cool. It's a really interesting concept. So inside of this thing, when we're creating a cave world, we have all of the biomes to choose from. We can pick any of these biomes and make the cave world, and the cave world should be every single one of those biomes, unless you're in 1.18. If you were in 1.18, like one of the earlier snapshots before they actually deleted these world types forever, and you tried to make one of these things, there was a bug. You could make a cave world and just get netherrack basically no matter what. Not a great experience. So the warm ocean and ocean cave world types in general, this is what it looks like. Complete darkness. Okay, actually, this is what it looks like. A gigantic warm ocean, the watercolor, immeasurably perfect as always, and the ceiling is completely made out of sandstone? Yeah, this is definitely sandstone. Ceiling is completely sandstone. That's a lot of mobs. That's a lot of mobs. That's a big explosion right there. That's really dangerous. Coral reef inside of the warm ocean cave world. Is it possible? I mean, after all, aside from the amazing watercolor, the coral reef, best thing about the warm ocean. Coral reef fans, I'm so sorry. This is where you're going to want to leave the video. There's no coral reef inside the warm ocean cave world, or at least it doesn't seem like it. I've been flying for a while now, and yeah, no coral reef. It's all sand. You might be wondering about under the ocean floor though. What's down here? Well, a few caves, but basically nothing. There's essentially like no room in between the lower layer of bedrock and the ocean floor, so there are a couple caves here. Mainly, they're just filled with lava though. What about inside of the ceiling? What's here? Well, aside from random water pools, in case you didn't have enough water down there, nothing as well. There's like no room. Hey, wait, there's a structure up here. Oh, there are a few. Oh, that's crazy. Is that a hole in bedrock too? All right, well, didn't expect this one at all, and check this out. This is an actual hole in bedrock. I could dig straight down here, and now I'm in the actual world. Like, I just opened a hole up onto the ceiling of this world. Yeah, maybe there are a few problems with this world types. Maybe this is why they're getting removed. Any good loot? No, of course not, to be expected, and look at that. A shipwreck up here too. That's crazy. So look, me and you, we have a mutual understanding of each other in this game. You know how it is. But look, this isn't a cry for help, okay? I promise. Every single time, especially lately with 1.18, been an absolute roller coaster. Features are added to the game, but then other things are removed. And it's a roller coaster. Tons of emotions, full of it. Every single time one of these things, like this world type, is revealed to be actually being removed from the game, I get sad. Like, pretty upset about it. Like, if I had to give my sadness a number out of 10, 10 is the worst, 1 is like, I'm actually pretty happy, I would give myself at least a 3. Like, I'm upset about these world types going away. These world types are made out of nether caves. What happens if we go inside of the nether, inside of the cave world? For the sake of documenting these worlds that will soon be cruelly and completely erased from everything forever, unfortunately, the nether inside of the cave world type is just the nether. It's literally the nether. The biomes are normal inside of this thing. This is a warped forest. There's going to be the other biomes inside of here. It's literally just the nether. So this world basically comes with 2 versions of the nether. The real version of the nether, and then the overworld version of the nether with 1 biome. All over the place. I always thought it would be really cool if you were able to create a cave world type with like normal biomes. So like you make a cave world and then the biomes are just like whatever they are. So you could have like a plains biome, then it turns into, I don't know, like a desert or something like that. But no, that's not possible. When you create one of these world types, you have 1 biome. Just like the next world type, the floating island world type. To be honest, I think the floating island world type is way more interesting than the cave world type, and also a lot more survival friendly. So next up, the floating island world type, by far the superior world type out of the 2 world types that are being deleted forever. Another Java Edition exclusive. Look at this place. So again, we're going to have 1 single biome all over this world. I didn't pick a biome, which means I'm going to default to plains. Plains is just, I guess, basically the normal biome. Look at this thing. It's so cool looking in the mine shaft down there, like literally hanging off of this thing with the chains. I don't really have a great metaphor for this one, but I mean, if a mine shaft means a life of luxury inside of the cave world type, a mine shaft hanging off of the floating island in this world, it means the mineshaft is hanging off of the floating island. I told you I didn't really have a good metaphor here. So, maybe you can come up with one. Back up on the, I don't know if you want to call it this, but the surface of this world type, right off the bat, do you notice anything? Like 3 things right there in front of us. Trees, number 1 survival component. Number 2 component, food. There's food inside of this world too. Pigs over there, sheep right over there. You could actually survive in this world, actually, and potentially thrive. Now, of course, being a single biome, it's not really going to be the most exciting, varied experience, like something like Terracotta. Basically impossible to get inside of this world unless you can find clay, but it's going to take like forever to get a large amount of Terracotta. Something a little bit more biome exclusive, like, I don't know, Prismarine or something. Yeah, that's going to be completely possible to get inside of this world type, at least this one, because, yeah, no ocean monument. No oceans in general, so no ruins. No Prismarine at all. Amethyst is a for sure, though. Look at this thing, the geode, like literally hanging off at the side of the island. That's so cool. And then over here, another one. I mean, I guess this is going to be like insanely easy to find geodes inside of this world. The chain change that the devs made to these mine shafts, you know, chains connecting the mine shaft to the ceiling sometimes, is literally perfect for this world type. Like, it's basically meant for it. Look at how good it looks. That's a lot of chains, too. If you took all those out, well, then you'd have a lot of chains. So, I mean, hey, good on you. Today, continuing my ocean fascination inside of these custom worlds. Next, we're going to make a floating island ocean world. Oh boy, so if you thought the cave world was a great survival experience, wait until you see this world right here. So we're loading up, and we're in. We've officially created the world. I'm excited to play survival. Oh no, something tragic has happened to those drowned, and shortly after me too. Yikes. So the ocean world inside of the floating islands is a void with some structures. A void. A literal void. There's no way you could ever do anything inside of these worlds. Well, I take it back. In the small chance that you get lucky and you spawn like right above a ruin and immediately you drop down onto this thing, you could survive in this world with whatever blocks are over here, but other than this, that's like basically it. I don't think you would even be able to make a cobblestone generator inside of this world. There's nothing to do. It's a true statement to say leaving a like on these videos is a really good thing. Speaking of good things, gigantic structures. I love them. They're really cool. Speaking of gigantic structures, what about the mansion? Floating island, Dark Oak Forest world. Aside from, you know, the entire world itself being floating islands and everything, the world is actually pretty normal. I heard a cow would spawn. I think that's like a sheep or a chicken or something. Wood all over the place. It's pretty normal. What about a mansion? It does exist here. And that's a nice amount of distance from spawn too. The mansion. How does the mansion exist inside of this world? Is it going to do what I think it's going to do and make cobblestone going all the way down to the bottom of the world? Mansion. How you doing over here? Yep. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Mansion, go you. I'm so proud of you. Mansion. Wow. This is amazing. Mansion. I always knew you could. Ocean monument instead of the ocean world? Never. But the mansion? Yes, you would. You always can. You just make the floor wherever the floor needs to be. Mansion, you know, like I just said, I'm so proud of you. I mean, look at this thing. Name a stronger, more determined structure. Oh, wait, it's impossible. Look at this. All the way down to Y0. It created a platform for itself all the way down to the bottom of the world. Now, what if, just maybe, we take a look at this thing from the bottom? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cobblestone right there. Like, dig that whole thing out. That's, yeah, a lot of cobblestone. From the inside of these mansions, one of the coolest structures in the game. You know, all of the room types and everything like that, really, really cool. From the outside of the mansion, one of the strongest structures in the whole game. This thing can generate basically no matter what. We've tested it and amplified, we've tested it here now. The mansion just exists, like, constantly. In life, you know what they say. There are 3 constants. Air, water, and woodland mansion. What about a stronghold? You know, with the whole mine shafts hanging underneath these the islands, what's gonna happen to a stronghold? I guarantee there's just gonna be floating boxes below the island. Well, me calling things perfectly ended pretty quickly because check this out: the stronghold is actually inside of the island this time. It's been moved up, so the stronghold generates around that's not moved up. You know, I didn't even really realize until now that the surface of these islands is actually like insanely low, 42. I mean, of course they can get higher up in some spots, but like 42 for the surface here? Yeah, that's like way lower than normal. I mean, usually 42 is like solid stone territory. You're solidly under the ground, not a single grass block inside unless you have one of those weird caves. This is really, really interesting. So I think this is like a ravine cutting through one island here, and then we have the stronghold just crossing it. Imagine walking through one of these worlds, you look down and you're like, whoa, well, there's the end of the game. I guess I'll do that. Cave world survival? Yeah, no, off the table. Would never even consider it. Floating island world survival, though? Maybe. The floating island worlds have a lot more survival potential. I mean, you're going to be limited in terms of what you have because it all is one biome, but way more survival potential. You have a floating island, you have food, you have everything like that. You pick the taiga, you have spruce wood, you're perfect. Inside of the end, the dragon is here, and then 100%. The rest of the end is just going to be the normal end. These world types do not affect the other dimensions of the game at all. So if we went into the nether, this is just going to be normal nether, and the end, obviously normal end. You know, I think the end city is actually going to be the best structure in this entire world. Like the elytra, how useful it is for flying around between islands. Yeah, I don't think there's one single thing that's more useful inside of these world types than the elytra. Woodland mansion structure, I'm so sorry about that. I feel terrible. Mansion is one of my favorite structures because of its sheer willpower. Like, it's always determined. One of my favorite biomes, because of the Terracotta, the Badlands. What if we were to say, take one of my favorite biomes, erase everything else, everything pointless in between, and then put it all up in the sky? Like, make it float. Well, that's a long, dramatic load. Oh, no, that's a really bad start. That's off to not the best start in the world, I'll admit it. Yeah, that's not great at all. I mean, the world spawn sitting clearly right in here, not, you know, just like right over there or right over there. Yeah, that would definitely perfectly make sense. I mean, yeah, there's no land inside of this world. Yeah, put the spawn right there. Good thinking. All right, though. So aside from not exactly the cleanest start, you know, I could try and forgive the game. We're in. This is the Terracotta Kingdom, the Terracotta Paradise that I was always wishing for. Gigantic terracotta islands floating all over the place. Mine shafts below, which is pretty cool, but terracotta all over the place. Now, I'm just coming to a realization that the trees inside of this biome are their own biome, so actually survival, well, I guess you have to have bushes. Survival inside of this world. Step 1, go to the surface, get the sticks from the bushes. How do you get to the surface if you spawn in the void? I don't know. Make a new world. Step 2, get the sticks that you got from the surface, go down to a mine shaft at the bottom of the world. Get the mobs off of the mine shaft and punch the wood down here. This is the wood that you're going to need for your first pickaxe. After this, it's all up from here. Back up on the surface with the wood that I need time to make a crafting table and a pickaxe, which, by the way, it was insanely difficult to not drop the planks into the void, so that's going to be a challenge. Wooden pickaxe to the stone pickaxe right here to eventually the iron ore that you can find generating in this world. I've seen ores generating on the side of these rocks, so there's gold, there's coal, so you can definitely find iron inside of this world. And there you go, your complete survival experience inside of this world. At first it seems impossible, but no, definitely achievable. Building inside of this world, I mean, I don't know, you really gotta love terracotta though, because that's like basically all you have. So earlier when I said it, it wasn't completely a joke. I mean, I'm definitely sad about these world types going away forever. Some of these world types are really, really interesting, especially some of the biomes inside of the floating island world type. It's just unlike anything you would ever see. Cave world type though, I mean, I don't know. I guess in my heart, it's like equivalent to the grove biome, and you know how I think about the grove, so not to flex on Bedrock too much or anything, but the one good thing about all of this is the fact that you could always go back and play these old world types. They work in 1.17 and they always will. Thankfully, the launcher saves old versions on Java, so you could always go back and check it out. I was about to end the video, but I came up with one more thing. The floating island world type 1.17, what's also inside of 1.17? The lush caves, at least inside of these single biome world types. What if we take the lush caves, the cave biome, and then turn it into floating islands. Aha, yeah, I mean, I guess this makes perfect sense. It's all a lush cave, all over the place, floating down below with the vines. Oh, this is sweet. This is like the coolest one. Wow. Cave worlds, floating island worlds, they're both super cool and also both about to die. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, destroy the like button, and if you're new here, subscribe. Turn notifications on and you'll never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Goodbye.